Guys, the JJK manga is ending. Not the best ending though, to be honest. But to commemorate such an amazing manga series that, to be honest, what I thought was just a Bleach clone, today we're going to be redrawing some of the volume covers that I really enjoy in JJK.
Girl, you make me wanna dance, dance, dance. Put me in a trance, you never wanna fuck this, not recording anymore.
Okay, so before I start drawing, can I spiel about JJK for a little bit? I don't know what's been going on this past, I've been locked in, bro. Ever since I watched the JJK Zero movie, bro, peak, bro. And something about JJK just really pulled me in, especially the character stories. And one of them that really got me out of nowhere was Gojo. Because to be honest, I hate Gojo. I did not like that nigga. I thought he was a fraud in the beginning, to be honest. And before you Gojo Glazers come in and be like, don't you dare talk shit about my glory. Smell bad. Go take a shower, gang. Maybe come by next video, you know what I'm saying? Then I'll maybe reply to your comment. Gojo is probably one of the best characters in this whole series and has been written really well. And spoilers, his end, wow, crazy, but to be honest, was kind of written well. Beside the point, today we're going to be redrawing the volume 4 cover of Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, to be honest, I didn't make up this idea. I am in fact a fraud. I got this idea from Twitter as a, Twitter addict here, you know what I'm saying, 0 days clean. I got this idea from an amazing artist that I just recently followed on Twitter, Harakami. And I know that he wasn't the original one that created this challenge, but it's a commemorative effort between multiple different artists on Twitter to redraw and recreate, just completely reimagine all the different JJK volume covers. And you can look through, and to be honest, let me even show y'all some that I have. These covers are really cool. To be honest, I only bought 2 covers. I plan on getting all my favorites just so that I can look at the covers, bro. It's just a nice collection piece to have, bro. It's an art piece. And after seeing Harakami's redrawing of volume 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, I really wanted to try that out in my own style. As always, there's a freaking problem. I'm not that great at anatomy. This is gonna be the first time that I'm gonna be really doing anatomy. Anatomy, bro, I have not touched that ever in my career of drawing, bro. So for this operation, there's gonna be about 4 stages. So here was a plan of what we were gonna do. First off, I'm not gonna draw this thing digitally. We're gonna draw it in this, and that's because I have school and I'm a busy man. I got places to be, which I already did. I just drew it out here. It's just Gojo doing his thing. It kind of reminds me of that Amazing World of Gumball meme. Do y'all remember that? Because you know what I'm saying? After doing that first draft, we of course took it to Photoshop, and that's where we begin with the first line art and fixing up everything, because I realized something that we'll touch on later when it comes to the hands and the anatomy and the perspective. And God, I do not like perspective, but this is great practice, right? Right? Look at him looking nice, he's chilling. Tongue kind of going crazy, in my opinion. That was what I kind of wanted to do. Gojo's kind of a freaky nigga, bro. We can all agree with that. That's our glorious king, bro. And I made a few tweaks here and there with the hand, because I felt like it wasn't as exaggerated enough to really give the effect that I wanted to give. It wasn't giving. You just know the feeling. When you have the vision in your head, but it's not reflecting on paper, you just get the feeling that it's not giving what it's meant to give. I'll stop saying that. So I just roughly cut it out, try to use the perspective tool to really because the pose is weird, right? It's a really complex pose. And to be honest, this might have been a bit too much for me, but we'll get to that feeling towards the end. It's kind of sad. I ain't gonna lie. After that, we get to the line art, which I already did. So from this, we did the line art, and boom, looking much better. I kind of exaggerated the hands a bit, made it a bit more dynamic. It just makes it look more interesting as a whole piece. One of my biggest issues was with the thumb. Now I fixed it though, but prior to that, you can see in the original sketch that I did that it did not look that good, and it didn't really match the perspective as well as I wanted it to do. So I kind of used my hand as a perspective to kind of make that, hand turning thing. I still think it could be better, but to be honest, we don't got much time for this, and I don't want to, scrap this and try it again. Perfectionism, not good, or else you'll just spiral, and then that's also not good. So after looking at this now, it kind of looks similar to this. Looking back now, I definitely feel the hand could have been lower, low-key. After that, I wanted to move on to doing the colors first, but to be honest, I still don't really know how to do shading and shadows and all that stuff. I know how to do it on paper, that's my bread and butter, but on digital, bro, it's a whole different ball game and language. I have no idea how to play that game. So this is what I did in the beginning, right? I had a shadow layer, right? And I was intricately going around with the brush at different opacities to try and essentially just color everything. I realized this was gonna take so long and be annoying as hell. So what did I do? We searched it up on YouTube. That was when I found a video by Mark Brunette, just basically talking about how to color your drawings and how to shade and stuff like that. It was hard. I ain't gonna lie, bro, but my mind was open. Essentially what he did was essentially cell shading. That was the kind of shading that I was going to look for to try and give it that kind of like comic slash manga kind of appeal. And this was what he essentially did. I'm gonna just dumb it down to like me and your level because like this was kind of complex. But so taking away the shadow layer, we have our piece. Wow, very cool, very nice. And now we first of all have to do all the flat colors. So obviously using this and this as a reference, I was able to get, you know, our flat colors. So the clothes, the mouth, and just everything else. So glorious king over here. This looks very flat. If I was to say that was a wrap from here, that would be a lazy job, bro. This is not as dynamic as I want to. It's a pose, so I want all the colors and everything about the whole scene to reflect that, you know what I'm saying? He's a dynamic guy. He's a cool guy. So basically what Mark was talking about was essentially splitting the shadows into about 3 sections. That was the midtones, the ambient occlusion, and the polish, which are essentially like highlights and stuff like that. But first off, I did the shadows, and that was essentially just taking all the flat colors, putting them onto one layer, and then just turning it into this, turning it black and white. Now this is gonna be the base of seeing all the different tones for each color that you put in, because each color isn't gonna have the same dark values for when you shade it and use the cell shading. Am I making sense, bro? Please let me know. If I am, like and subscribe, We have our values for the shadows, which will come into play later, but right now we need to discern the midtones. Now the midtones are essentially where the light's gonna be hitting, because essentially these are already the shadows that we have, and we have to use the highlights to kind of cover that up and to kind of, you know, show that light is in the image. Makes it more dynamic, make it make sense. I have no idea. It's actually using the lasso tool to go over every single like portion of like the body of where I wanted the light to hit, essentially painting that over with white on a new layer. Like, bro, it was like 1 a.m, bro. I was locked in on doing this, bro. Was my hand hurting? Yes. Was I having a good time? Yes. So this is what I did so far. I was imagining like the light coming in from like a lower angle, hence where I drew this. It's just like showing where lighting is. I don't know what those lines on the bottom mean, but I saw Mark do it, so you know what I'm saying, he's the leader of the group. And then after that, Mark moved on to the AO, aka the ambient occlusion. I know, it's a big word. Essentially just meaning more shadows. Just using like the brush tool. So essentially what he did was, or rather what I did, was going to the brush tool, essentially picking just like the softest brush you can find. I just picked this one, just went around, just splodging it around lightly around the areas that you want it to be as dark as possible. But don't do too much, or else, you know, like it would bleed into everything else. And if we put that in, look at that, it looks a lot more dynamic than normal, you feel me? And after that, it doesn't really get much easier than that, because we then have to go to each shadow tone, get that value, and then get the color value that we had for that same shadow value, and then try and find like a mid-tone that's darker and more saturated to then be the shadow of that. And then we have to replace those values of those shadows that we made with that. It's a lot of color mixing that I did over here. So yeah, this was for the hair, this was for the skin, and this was for the clothes. All the other ones, like with the eyes, I'm gonna do that last, and with the background too. So we did all that, and it came out like this. This was what it looked like. I have no idea what this is here. Maybe I messed up like the ambient occlusion. And with that mixed in with the base values of the flat colors that you did, it comes out like this, which is really, really cool. It's slowly coming to life. But we didn't put in the ambient occlusion. When you put that in, look at that, bro. Gojo's looking nice. It's looking a lot more dynamic, you know what I'm saying? This morning I made the darker parts a lot darker, because to be honest, last night I finished it off and I was like, this is cool. And then I forgot to flip it. And when I flipped it, it looks a lot better now. But then, bro, it didn't look that great. To be honest, I still feel like I could have done better as a whole, but I'm gonna give myself some slack because I barely really do like full drawings like this. I just be doing chibis and like, you know, like just like simple stuff. So I think this, for me personally, this is great progress so far. Pretty much all that's left is to do the background, and then we're done. We can put in the title on, and then the volume number and all that good stuff. I think I might add some more ambient occlusion behind the fingers, just a tiny little bit. Super excited to get this done, because this looks a lot better than I thought it would. Could be better, but that's all that we can do right now. If you like what you're seeing so far, like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys when I finish this. So alright, this didn't actually take too long to do, for real. Oh yeah, and I did the eyes too, which was the bread and butter, so I'm really proud of that. Let's put everything together and let's see. We have the title, no I'm saying, and we have this. Look at that, bro. I added some blood because that was in the original thing. I didn't want to make it too oversaturated because it's dried up blood, you know. I don't want it to be too saturated. Let's add the background right here. Boom. Yo! Yo, this looks good. This looks so good. Oh my god, wow. I think I cooked, I fear. Story and art by Gojo Kutami. Art by Fahad, bro. This looks so good, though. Bro, I'm so happy about this, bro. To be honest, bro, halfway through this, I was like, dude, this video is so embarrassing, bro. Because I just thought that it just didn't look good. But bro, you have to trust the process. You literally have to. I was about to scrap this whole video. For real, bro. This Loki looks fire, bro. Like this JJK Fahad edition. Another one for the history books. Check out this video right here. Thank you for watching. Dude, this is so cool.